Very, very good. Well, hello everybody, and my face is doing very funny things here. Right, hello everybody, and welcome to this week's Metaworld news. These are going to be our headlines for the week ending the 16th of no month. I mean November.
No, Meyer.
Yeah, so let's do that again. The news for the week ending the 16th of November, 2019. And the reason I'm getting even more confused than normal is because we're actually filming this on a Saturday night instead of a Sunday night for once.
Hmm.
Or in James's case, of course, Sunday, well, daytime. Anyway, yes, I'm Mal Burns. And I'm your host. I'm also joined here by James Outloud, who has a little bit to say, but is normally very busy fiddling with his knobs, namely our cameras. So, welcome, James.
Thank you, Mal. I've worn my special Star Trek outfit today. So,
Very good, very good. Nice
yep.
to know you attend virtual laundry now and again.
Tending to
We,
my
we should,
fanness. Yep.
Yeah, wish I could say the same, but never mind. I
Yep.
just seem to end up with different faces and avatars these days. But nothing like inconsistency for a spanner in the works, so to speak. And we like our disruptive technology, don't we? So spanner in the works is quite appropriate, I guess. Anyway, as I said, I'm Mal Burns, and you can find me on Twitter at twitter. Yes, the usual. Twitter.com/Malburns, Malburns, all one word at Twitter. And there's an additional feed, which is twitter.com/MetaWorld News, just after this show, of course. Right. Let's get on with the actual news, so to speak. It's not quite as jam packed as it has been for the last couple of weeks, I'm
Hmm.
pleased to say, but that doesn't mean we'll be any quicker with it. Right. Thanks to James, you are also seeing some of the feeds that I'm reading out on your, well, from my desktop onto your screen. And I've actually got one open at the moment, which James can probably shift to, which might show you a fairly familiar figure indeed. I've done this one out of order simply because I thought it was a great picture to start with, because it's a moving picture. Yes, albeit an animated GIF. It's a nice moving picture.
Hmm.
And yep, this is David Bowie, the late David Bowie now, of course, who's here described as an iconic 70s character. And he's making an appearance at this year's Infinity Festival in Hollywood. Um, it's opened at the Goya Film Studios, offering guests a chance to attend a killer lineup of panels led by Hollywood storytelling professionals and go hands on with groundbreaking 5G, artificial intelligence, blockchain, immersive technology, etc., etc. And among the attendees were VIPs, event organizers, and yes, Ziggy Stardust.
Hmm.
Ziggy Stardust, the character you see here, is actually David Bowie's iconic and androgynous sci-fi rock star character, which was made famous on his fifth studio album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Was that his fifth album? I thought it was more like his. Well, never
Gosh, I
mind.
don't know.
Yeah, odd. Um, it's been brought to life by a combination of motion capture technology and the Unreal Engine. The Unreal Engine is kind of the authoring platform that is up there with Unity, really, as the major, chosen
Hmm.
compilation platform for virtual worlds and stuff like that.
Pretty popular.
Yeah, and I've got a bit of an echo from somewhere here. Oh no, I'll switch my own world down. Okay. Um, Right, where were we? Guests at both the party and the weekend event were able to view a digital body model on a massive 8K Samsung monitor and interact with the character in real time.
Hmm.
And if you go to the link, you will find there's a little video there about it too. Now, of course, I haven't yet given you the link, which isn't very helpful, is it? The title of the article is David Bowie is Unreal Motion Capture. Yes, although the title, as you see it there, is Real Time Motion Capture Brings David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust to Life. And the site we're at is vrscout.com. That's VR, the letters, scout as in Boy Scout, and then .com. VR Scout is written as all one word, of course. So vrscout.com/news/David Bowie will probably get you there, although the L is somewhat longer. Or, of course, go to Malbones at Twitter and click on the appropriate link. So, anyway, isn't that nice and pretty? I'm not going to attempt to show you the actual video underneath. If you want to
Mm.
watch that, you can go to the web and see it yourself. Right, okay, so I'm going to close that one. And here we are. Now I'm actually in the order that I would normally be going in. This is the earliest one from the week. Ben Lang's post here is November 11th. This is really for developers, creators, etc. out there. Unity, which I just happened to mention a minute ago, has a plugin now which aims to streamline haptics for VR developers. Now, this is referring to things like headsets or anything else that people might be playing. It's okay authoring a game and putting it on screen and having it in 3D, but if you don't include the code for various haptic devices, be they headsets, leap motions, gloves, treadmills, whatever, um, it's not going to be state of the art effective, is it? So the RGB haptics is a new tool that's been developed for Unity to make it easier for developers to create and implement haptic effects in VR games. You could do them before, but this one is dedicated to doing it and making it easier, they hope. And to get it, you have to go to the Unity Asset Store. And if you're a user of Unity, you'll know how to do that because it's built into the app. Right, let's dispose of that. Right. Um, oh, that was at roadtovr.com, that last link, by the way, although you don't really need it. Okay, augmented reality and virtual reality will make spatial journalism the future of reporting. Um, you've got some sort of phone style shots there, actually, from inside the Amazon, the dying forest. Um, It's an opinion piece, this really. You'll find it at VentureBeat. That's you don't need the www. It's VentureBeat, VentureBeat.com. And this again was November the 10th. Um, the image there is showing a Time magazine's presentation of its journalism about the Amazon rainforest fires. And yeah, the article goes on to talk about disruption of the journalistic landscape, etc., etc., and how both VR and AR may well be used in future journalism. We've seen articles like this before, but they all pop up from time to time, and obviously they're usually a bit more updated when they do. They cover quite a lot for, as you can see there. Right, okay, let's put that one away too. That was venturebeat.com. Right, we are now at uploadvr.com. So that's all one word, uploadvr, the letters on the end after upload.com. And Lookingglass Holographic is the backslash link, as it were. Lookingglass reveals new 8K holographic display monitor. Yeah, they just get bigger and bigger and better and better and faster and faster, and maybe not better, you never know. Right. For those unfamiliar, Lookingglass isn't traditional AR or VR, but provides a method of viewing 3D content without the need for head worn gear. Right. We have seen similar things to this before, and I don't know whether you can see there's a video there, and somebody is looking at the screen, and it's a bit like what is then holographic things, like where you see a painting on the wall, and when you move around it, it appears to actually be sticking out from the wall, and that you're seeing it in 3D. Stick your hand into it, of course, and you realise there's nothing there, but it's sort of good old-fashioned holograph. Um, Let me read those. Their newest display is measured 32 inches, provides multiple perspectives for 3D content which can be viewed by multiple people in the room without any additional headsets or head tracking. Uh, Looking Glass displays typically generate 45 inch. Don't know what that is. 45 distinct and simultaneous perspectives of three-dimensional content. Oh, sorry, that was parentheses. Okay. With the new 8K version is said to offer 33.2 million pixels with over a billion count color gamut at 60 hertz. Yes, well, all very
Well,
technical and
there's a bunch
all,
of pixels.
yes, that is a bunch of pixels. Even I know that. Right. Anyway, general information about it, and you can click on and go to the company's website for more about that. This post is, as I said, at uploadvr.com and lookingglassfactory.com is their actual site, which is now loaded here. And of course, that's much prettier, isn't it, for talking over? I should
Mm-hmm.
have come here in the first place. Yes, wonderful, wonderful. Right, always good to. I like these newfangled websites that
All
sort of move
image.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, they move for you with that. Well, they've got layers on top of the image, and you scroll
Mm-hmm.
down. But it's quite good for broadcasting here anyway. So that is lookingglassfactory.com and upload VR for the previous article too. So let's put that one away. Again, we're back on uploadvr.com. Um, the third annual VR awards ceremony, Virtuality awards ceremony, was held in, well, it's here actually, central London last Monday night. Some of the biggest names in the industry gathering to celebrate and recognise a massive year for virtuality. Obviously, a high emphasis on British things and very much on the VR hardware and the VR experience rather than very much to do here at all about virtual worlds. Um, I have posted elsewhere the video that came a day later that went with this, which basically showed off all the relevant people. Um, and okay, something that was actually given out. This is a nice little segue for us here. In fact, Accenture company sponsored VR Lifetime Achievement Award, and this was given to a chap called John Carmack, who was until literally a couple of days ago CTO of Oculus VR. He is considered to be one of the people that has been pushing VR and everything else for many, many years. And of course, well, in working for Oculus, he's been working indirectly now for Facebook. Well, he's decided to leave the job. He's going to continue consulting, but he wants to move out of VR. And the suggestion was he got rather disillusioned with it. After all, he's made his name for many years. Um, so basically, this gave you a link of hardware of the year, games of the year, everything else that was submitted, and it's not actually on this particular. Um, no, it isn't. So let me just click on that. So yeah, this by the way, uploadvr.com. The video link I was looking for is actually separately. So yep. Uh, okay, this is the speech he gave. Uh,
So when I heard that I was up for a Lifetime Achievement Award for VR, I actually thought it might be premature. I'm often kind of grumpy around the office because I really haven't been satisfied with the pace of progress that we've been making. And when I'm in VR, I see the magic there, but my brain is always throwing up these giant to do post it notes on top of everything, just reminding me of all the work that's yet to be done. So it's going to be a little while before I really feel good about reminiscing about my achievements. But still, while I had my brushes with sort of the paleo VR back in the 90s, I do like to date the modern era of VR to when I was putting duct tape and hot glue on Palmer Luckey's prototype Rift for E3 in 2012. And after that, I was really well suited to the systems engineering tasks involved in bringing VR to the Northern Star mobile chipsets and systems. I, but all that technology really doesn't mean much until it's brought in service of user value. So, more than anything, I hope that I've been helpful in bringing this new canvas for people to work on, and that the work that those people do will be paving the way in the future. Thank you very much.
So there you go. Upload VR for that article. Yeah, that was his full sort of acceptance speech that he pre-recorded basically for the event because he couldn't be there. So but yeah, it's only about a minute and a half. I thought I'd treat you to that. I don't think there's any copyright infringements on that, so it better
Hmm.
not be anyway. Right, okay, moving on to VRScout.com. Second one for this week, I think. VR, the letters, and then Scout as in BoyScout.com. And November 13th was this post. This is all about Magic Leap. Headline: the article is "Turn Your Home into a Mixed Reality Record Store with Spotify and Magic Leap." Well, I'm a great user of Spotify. I no longer need to go to the shelf to pull out my CDs because they are all for £9 a month or whatever it is I pay them. They now stream into my hi-fi, gloriously high resolution, and without me even having to stand up and go and go and get the disk out of its container and put it in the tray and load the tray and all the rest of the stuff we used to have to do. But I can have it on my TV, or I can have it on the hi-fi, or I can use it on the iPad, or I can have it on my desktop, and I can, use one of those for making the choices. But the hi-fi version just streams it down through the hi-fi. Well, what they've done here is they've come to a deal with Magic Leap, which isn't exactly the most commonplace of the 3D augmented reality stuff. Um, but what you do is you go into Magic Leap, a bit like going into an Oculus or something, and you go into your room, as it were, um, virtually, or that you see through to your real room, but you can put all sorts of aspects of Spotify's interface at strategic places around the wall. So, as you can see, there's very little video on Spotify. It's all sort of about music playing, but you can load an album and play an album, or you can take tracks from albums and make your own playlists and stuff like that. So the idea that you've got here is you've got a player that's sort of in the front a bit, showing you what you're playing, but all your other favorite albums you've taken and you sort of made pin-ups on the wall, and you can either click on the arrow of the pin-up to play that album, or you can click on the X to remove it from your decorations. It doesn't remove it from your Spotify, it just removes it from your decorations. So that would be quite fun. And I must admit, if I ever, well, I'm very unlikely to want to pair with Magic Leap for just that, but I must admit, if I had some Magic Leap glasses hanging around here, and they are more glasses than anything else, I would probably put them on for the 5 minutes to experience that. Because it also, if interesting thing about Spotify, if I'm scanning on the iPad and going through all my albums, of which I got hundreds, I tend to have copied all the albums I got in on my CD shelf and duplicated them in Spotify just for ease of getting at them. And on the iPad, there's a little long thing, a sidebar vertical down the side that goes from A to Z. So I can quickly find the artist I want by clicking on the letter and going down the list. Unfortunately, on the desktop version, there's no such thing. You can view by latest, or you can view by title, or you can view by artist name. But those are your only choices, and either way, you can actually end up scrolling through. You can scroll down to the bottom for hours. You can't always get everything you want up at the top, like an A. Whereas on the iPad version, you can. You can just, if I want, say, Tom Petty, I can just click on T, and it immediately scrolls down at high speed to all the T stuff. Um, so I imagine, if I really did have a pair of glasses like this, I'd probably choose out, they're all my favorite albums, but I could choose my absolute favorites, the ones I actually play all day long half the time. And actually, I could put them on a piece of blank wall. I'm not like, I think actually, I don't think I've got any blank wall. It's all shelves of CDs. So I probably wouldn't win anyway. But you see the idea. I kind of like this. So, but yes, I should stop rabbit holing on it. But Nice idea. Nice idea.
Yeah, if you like it, that's
I
great.
yeah, I imagine if they brought something out that works with Oculus Quest or something, or HTC Vive, it might be a big hit. An awful lot of people, do like their music and stuff. Although I presume if you wanted to put some music on, then move on and do something else, that screen would obviously be replaced by whatever else you're doing. But anyway, great
Yep,
idea, I
yep.
think. So read about that at vrscout.com. And oh yes, there is a bonus on this. The playlist can change depending on the room you're currently in. So if you move from your sitting room there to your bedroom or something, you can have completely different music decorating your bedroom. And there is a video, of course, to decoration and a sort of um, moving thing to give you an idea of what's going on. These gifts and things, they don't really reflect the absolute glory of seeing all that happening in 3D space, And they've got another Magic Leap thing about the undersea studio as well there. Right, okay, putting that out of the way anyway. And back to vrfocus.com. That's the letters VR, then focus, as in focusing your eyes properly. vrfocus.com. And we're back to Europe here too, except that it finished 13th, 14th, and 15th, so it's actually just finished. VR Days Europe, quite a lot of posts coming up from here. A lot of iFidelity users are actually in Britain and Europe, and those in Europe, in Amsterdam to be precise, is where the VR Days Europe happened. So uh, I'd be getting a lot of pictures and quick reports and being able to sort of see what's going on there too, because I follow some people I know from Hi-Fi there. Um, anyway, this is a more main report, and they talk about a virtual dioramas exhibition which looks to redefine immersive art. Six Dutch artists created pieces for a VR church. I presume that means in an old church or something rather than religious enterprise. Yeah, VR Church is all about showcasing the best in interactive storytelling, which feature projects from around the world. Virtual Dioramas is an offshoot of that, and the first time the exhibition has been held, located, of course, Amsterdam, etc. And it goes on about the individual ones. That's one. There's another. Um, I find it hard to. Um, Well, I suppose they are VR dioramas, to be honest. Diorama used to be a sort of circular exhibition space, and back in about a century or more ago, they used to project images onto the walls of this, and they also did flipbook style projections that were really fast. It predated cinema, but it had a very similar effect to cinema. But the idea was you were in the center of a room the experience was actually all around you. And it's not really surprising that somebody's come up with, has utilized the word diorama in the context of VR because, it almost is a scene or even a movie sort of thing in the round. There are different ways of doing it. When a band performs in the round, they're normally in the middle and you're around the outside watching. But with something like this, the performance or the thing you're watching is on the outside and you're standing in the middle, so it's completely inverted, but it's just different technique of similar thing. Anyway, that was the big thing at VR Days Europe. So go to vrfocus.com and you can read all about it. A couple of pictures to see and talk about the pieces. The virtual dioramas itself, it continues to be on for a few weeks if you want to check it out. Obviously, you need to go to yes, you definitely need to be in Amsterdam to do that. But it will be around for a few more weeks, even though VR Days Europe is now finished itself, the conference. Right, moving on. Ah, now another little pretty picture. Guess what this is, right? You can't see my title because I haven't yet scrolled to it. So, James, I will ask the question. Can you guess what that is?
Well, it looks like I mean, it kind of looks like Open Simulator. It's a
Okay.
beach party. Is it? Is it? I'm
No,
trying to remember what grid.
it's Science Space.
Oh, is that Sign Space? Okay.
Yes,
Uh,
they are celebrating their third anniversary. Now
oh,
all is revealed.
yeah. I see the sine wave on the graphic too now. The edging
Yes,
on
it's
the
that.
banner.
Uh, oh, can you? Oh, I
Yeah,
thought that was that.
just
I
at the
thought that
very
was it.
bottom, there's that blue line with white beneath it.
Oh, of
So that
course.
should have
Yeah,
clued me into a
yes,
sign.
yes, they use that, don't they? Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, they're celebrating their third anniversary. The events start literally tomorrow, 15th. Because we
Cool.
were the yes, no, I got it wrong. We're the 16th today. Yeah, so it started yesterday, continuing today, and carrying on to the 19th. So let's see, 17th is Sunday, Monday. Yeah, so carrying on to Tuesday. So they're 2 days in and 3 days to go, basically. Um, Let me see. Friday's passed. Saturday, here we go again. What is quite nice is, there's SciSpace, really does cover American time as well as European time. The first event today, for example, I suppose it's still American in many ways. Yeah, 9 p.m. tonight, yeah, European time, which is 11 p.m., 1 p.m. Okay, UTC should be. Oh,
Are
well,
you doing
Britain is
maths
now.
on air?
Yeah, no, I bet not actually, because we're now Britain's now on Greenwich Mean Time. In fact, we're all on winter time throughout the world, really. And but I see an 8 hour difference between Pacific and Britain. So eight, and Europe's normally 1 hour ahead. Yeah, ahead of. Okay, UTC is actually
Right.
European Central Time. Um, yeah, so go figure. Okay, so you get European and yeah, there's no BS, there's no GMT here.
Mm-mm.
Ah, I feel cheated.
Eastern.
Okay,
There's a Pacific time. Yeah.
yes, yeah, they. It's funny, everybody uses Pacific time because I think so many people in America are, used to using Pacific for
Well,
what you
and
might
I
call
think
virtual.
Second Life set that precedent.
Yes, yeah, virtual world time, as
I
it
still
were.
call it
Yeah,
Second Life time. Yeah.
yeah. There were actually a few Second Life viewers back in the day which actually started using UTC. I mean, it's actually possible for a viewer,
To use any
to have
time.
it to
Yeah.
use its own time. So just because it is 8 p.m. Pacific and 8 p.m. Second Life time, if the viewer is built to show European time, you'll see European time. So
Hmm.
yeah. Anyway, as I say, there's a load of stuff going on. Sunday, Guitar Hallow is a lovely kind of colourful venue. With a very very big dance floor. Um, yeah, but some of it's clubbing stuff. Some is live. I think Monday gets a bit different. Designers team ups, trivia, ambient lounge. So it was Spiral Silver Star. I don't know whether that means he's doing. Basically, he does wonderful fractal artwork, Spiral Silver Star. Whether that's just it or whether he's actually hosting a sort of ambient music thing to go with it, it's not very clear.
Hmm.
James Olmos live guitar too. He, by the way, is one of the performers. Is at I believe, I hope I got this right. Going to be at the OpenSync Community Conference on their music stage, which is later, so 14th, 15th of December. Yeah. Anyway, more stuff there going on Tuesday and world music, Catacombs Rock, Unruly Blues. Anyway, if you want to know, you can click on the blog, can't you, and read it.
Hmm.
So you want to go to blog.sign.space. So that's blog.sine and then space. SPACE kind of space, not keyboard space. Right.
Or outer
Uh,
space.
or outer space, yeah, or inner space.
Or
Never
rabbit
mind.
hole space.
Yeah, rabbit hole space. Yeah, there's close that. Right, now we've got another picture, altogether different kind of looking party. This one, um, this is international, I think. Africa, Sierra Leone or something,
Yeah.
then Singapore. I can't read all the signs, but all these people in headsets apparently are international folks. Anyway, yeah, we'll see here. VR Scout again. The World Bank. That's who these people are. Yeah, doesn't look like that's what the World Bank does in its meetings
Of
these days.
course it
Well,
is. I
fair
should have
enough. Fair
recognized that.
enough. Yeah, fair enough, but they're getting somewhere. The World Bank turns to VR filmmaking to fight global poverty, so I don't actually think the World Bankers are all there in headsets. Um, but they're sparking actions against global poverty, which the World Bank seems to talk about all the while, which I don't know whether they ever do anything about it really, but using the power of VR filmmaking. Although numbers are horrific, 3 billion people around the globe are living on less than $2.5. I presume that means US dollars a day, including 1.2 billion living in extreme poverty, existing on less than $1.25 per day. And efforts to combat world poverty are met with fragility, conflict, and violence, affecting both low and middle income countries. Blah blah blah. Okay, well they got a video here for one thing. Um, all good stuff. I think really what's happening here is you're getting this sort of 360 video films really rather than virtual reality, and the sponsorship for a lot of stuff is coming from the World Bank. When you consider just how rich the World Bank are, I mean, this is probably spare change in their pocket, to be honest, of funding this stuff. But probably better they're doing it than they are not, if you see what I mean.
Hmm.
So quite a little bit there, interview about the project itself, and a few embedded videos and pictures and stuff like that. So if you're interested, more than enough to read at that article, vrscout.com. And the post was on November 14th, which would put it at 2 days ago, wouldn't it? Thursday, yes. I jumped when I saw this because the author of the post is somebody called Bobby Carlton.
Who?
And
Oh.
I'm not really into sports, but I think he's probably Britain's most famous footballer.
Oh.
I thought, what is this thing? But if I'm right, the guy's probably dead. I think he won the World Cup in 1953 or something.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know. But so yeah, Bobby Carlton is the author of that anyway. A Bobby Carlton, I should say. Right, putting that one away. That was VRScout.com. And moving on to virtuality-news.net. The area VR 360 is the sort of section they call it here, but this is quite important. It's virtual reality. That's the two words, long words together, then a dash, and then news, and then .net, N-E-T at the end. Um, and that's their full web address. Anyway, 15th of November, which was just yesterday. And this is, as you can see, an opinion. Yes, somebody else goes down the rabbit hole too. Look at that.
Hmm.
Right. VR can be the answer to many problems, but the devil is in the detail. Da 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 da. Da. Sorry, I shouldn't attempt soundtrack, should I? Right. Whoever wrote this loves their VR, became hooked on its potential long before today's affordable, reliable hardware. Sorry, affordable, reliable. I think that must be a typo.
That
Right.
sounds like opinionating.
Yeah, it sounds like opinionating. Yes, it does. Anyway, the guy goes on about it. Um, Especially from a training point of view, needing three things: consistent delivery of accurate material, delivery mechanism that makes sense, and multi-sensory material that drives engagement. You'll also want to measure effectiveness, plan for updates, but there's a secretary concerns to him here. And then he actually goes on about the different criterion. Um, and yeah, well, he's got quite a lot to um, say for himself there. It's very true too. I mean, we're all
Hmm.
innovation and the whole VR thing. Be we talk about hardware or virtual worlds or anything. It's all well having that stuff in the headlines, especially when it's fashionable. But often, um, what's in the headlines is glorified PR releases half the time, telling you what's new and everything else and what goes together with what. Things like complete solutions or a sort of landmark shift in perception towards the metaverse and interlinking all these things. That is particularly a long way off. So you probably do have quite a lot to consider if you're using this in any professional capacity. Say you're a teacher or a trainer and you've got an audience, you really need you're going to have a routine and you're going to build up a curriculum and stuff like that, and you really actually are going to have to um, take a risk really and put your finger in the right hole for the right platform, and just hope really you don't actually choose a platform that's got a serious fault after you've got it all done and or to a point a platform that goes bye bye. Um, Difficult times, difficult at times, but
Mm-hmm.
it's what comes of fragmentation and sort of uh, competition going overboard, really. There are no laws to make anybody cooperate with anybody else anymore, where a lot of this stuff's concerned. So, everybody wants to be their own thing and be their own boss. And, it's just lots of isolated cells. Wish them luck, Then maybe eventually, maybe I suppose it's like a load of tribes and they finally get together and think, oh, we're better off forming a country, and if we're going to go to war, we'll go to war with the neighbouring country instead of ourselves. That kind of thing, but not warlike, of course. I'm just making a rabbit hole of that,
Wow.
aren't I? Right, virtuality-news.net is where you can find that piece of opinion. Right. Okay, back to road2vr.com. Road to VR is four words, road as in the thing they put cars on, two as in TO, and VR the letters. Road2VR, all squashed together.com. And a company called Lenovo have unveiled a new augmented reality headset prototype aimed at business travelers. And again, we're getting to something that is getting a little bit closer to actually being wearable, if you see what I mean. They're more like elaborate glasses than they are a headset, even though it says it's a headset prototype. It depends on the materials, of course, how light those are, as to how comfortable they are. Um, these are rather odd. It says for business travelers, I suppose maybe offices too. Um, these actually are operated by plugging. You don't plug them into a smartphone, which was the obvious thing if you're traveling. You plug them into a PC, presumably, if for a traveler's point of view, that would be a laptop or maybe something like an iPad Pro that's got an adapter for USB. Um, and it's strictly speaking augmented reality rather than virtual reality. So I don't know. Lenovo Tech World was a conference they held in Beijing. The Chinese tech giant unveiled this prototype, and it aims to appeal to business travelers on the go. They're officially called Lenovo AR Concept Glasses. I think they could do with a slightly better name before they release the
Mm-hmm.
damn things.
Yeah.
The headset features a relatively small, sleek profile, no doubt in part because the headset connects to a PC via cable, meaning it doesn't hold on board, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and it goes on and on and on. Read more about it at road2vr.com. Now, actually, there was another. Now, where was it? Um, I I meant to tag it, and I don't know that I have. Philip Rosedale tagged today. He tried on a new headset, and again, they were really small, and they had what's it 2K resolution per lens. Um, anyway, I'll stick around for that if I can. Right. Glue collaboration raises lots of money. Financing to further develop business-focused social VR platform. I always go bit sort of funny. When I hear social VR, I think, oh yeah, this is virtual worlds for people to hang out in. And it says business focus, and that can
Mm-hmm.
mean two things. Either it's not really a virtual world; it's just an environment for business users, or or the worst thing is business focus would Yeah, the early days of Second Life, where every business under the sun was being told this is the place to be, and it's like telling people when in the early days of the web that they need a website, so they do a nice picture and put some text on top of it, not a hyperlink site, and they put a billboard on the web page and hope people visit it. I didn't quite get the idea, and they used to do this with Second Life at the beginning. Some people would simply sponsor a region of arts or something, which probably did them a good deal of promotion. Others actually tried to open up shops or offices and things and just didn't know what to do with themselves once they got in there. They jumped in without thinking about a strategy, basically. Um, yeah, business focused social VR. It's almost a contradiction. But as you can see, there's a few business focused avatars here. They do certainly look business focused. As usual with these things, they don't have anything below the waist. In fact, they've got half their arms missing too. But there you go.
Off with their
Anyway,
arms.
yeah, well, it stops there, and there's a hand, but there's nothing in the arms.
The
And
queen
yeah,
said, "Off with their arms."
yes, I know nothing. Nothing below the waist. It could be all sorts of things, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, Glue Collaboration. They're a Helsinki-based company developing remote collaboration tools for AR and VR. And today, or whatever day it was, yesterday, they announced they completed seed round financing, raising lots of money for continued growth.
Wow.
Um, and yep, there is a little video which has an intro.
So the
And
platform is called Glue. Okay.
yeah, um, I have over the way here on the other side of my screen in my Slack. No, in Discord. Is that my Slack or no Slack? Sorry. Um, let's see what happens when I press on this. Yeah, this takes me straight to Vimeo, and this is the Glue intro. So it's only a minute. We might as well have a look. I like the city upside down in the air.
Sure.
Yeah, I've not seen much of it.
Is
Oh
that
yeah, now look at those cute little hands. Oh, they're sweet. I think I prefer Baby Yoda though.
Oh no. Do you have a story about that?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Enough
I
said.
think
Enough said.
you're getting the idea here.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, might as well. There you are. Right. I'm not giving them the whole thing. That would be a free ad.
Mm.
I'll show it next week at the baby. Right. Yes, a quick journey to rabbit hole. I've watched the first two installments of something called the Mandalorian or something. It's
Yeah.
the first Star Wars TV show.
Yep.
And well, it's not really a spoiler now, but it was last week for the first one. Because the final scene, this bounty hunter had been sent to find something mysterious that was 50 years old. And he has a bash 'em up session with everybody until he finds this sort of pod, a round pod, and he opens it up, and it's like a cradle. It's like a cradle, or with a baby in it, and it's under a very human-looking woolly blanket. And then its head pops out, and it's Yoda.
Mhm.
Except it's not Yoda from the original Star Wars, because Yoda is like centuries old. And apparently, I don't know the backstory, but I think these creatures, of which Yoda was a member, don't get born very often and do live for several centuries when they do. But he's obviously got the force in him, because he saves the bounty hunter from something or other by, oh yeah, it was a great big sort of Tyrannosaurus Rex type thing about to eat the bounty hunter. And this baby Yoda, and he's a little baby, he puts his finger at the monster and puts it in the air. But I don't know what it is, the big ears and the eyes and everything else. The thing is so sweet. I mean, it's almost beat my fondness for pussycats. So there you go. It's
Oh,
got to
there
be
there will certainly
definitely.
be a plushie doll.
Yeah, I do. Oh, right, yeah, they'll be making
Hmm.
dolls, I suppose.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not particularly impressed by the series, but the Baby Yoda or whatever breed he is something else. And he does have something below the waist, I hasten to add. We haven't seen much of it yet because he's bathed in swaddling clothes, as the rhyme goes. But, whatever. Anyway, let's move on to the real world. And there's a lot of I think a lot of people into virtuality and things like that, virtual worlds, sort of do appreciate the special effects work that has been done in cinema over the years, as inspiration for avatars and landscapes and everything else. So, a bit of cross reference, I suppose. Putting this one away, we're now on Gizmodo.com. That's Gizmodo and .com, of course. And the post is entitled "Researchers Created Holograms You Can Feel and Hear." Now, this is rather odd. This is a GIF that's playing there rather than a YouTube video. Um, there is a physical side to that. That little dot in the guy's hand there, microscopic though it is required. And apparently, so despite its microscopic size, it can generate all you need for a hologram. But also, it plays around with sine waves, and when you come to the boundary of the hologram, so to speak, you get a sense of touch. Although the touch is actually the thing isn't solid, it feels solid because the sound waves wrapping it up, and as you contact the sound waves, you feel the contact. If that makes any sense. So I think I've got that right. I may be completely wrong. You'll have to go to the website and
Hmm.
read for yourself, won't you? Gizmodo, Gizmodo, .com, and this was posted on Thursday. And it's got a fair old, bit about it here. The University of Sussex, again, this is in the UK here, they've created animated 3D holograms that can not only be seen from any angle, they can also be touched, bringing us one step closer to Star Trek holodecks. It has been said that we've got a long way to go before you get the Star Trek real, video telephone quality, but it's a start. And the Guardian has a little video on it, and yeah, tells you all about it. So fascinating stuff if you're into the science of all these things. So Gizmodo.com. And finally, this is the last one I've got open at the moment. But well, guess what?
Oh, look
This
at that.
is this is virtualrealitytimes.com, three words as one.com, and it seems to be virtually the same article that we had open from VR. I think it was a few minutes ago. Lenovo's AR concept glasses, to give them their full name.
Well, that
Can you
closer view
imagine
is
going it?
interesting. I like the electrical tape on the left bow there.
Just put together like that. Can you imagine going into a tech shop and saying, "Have you got? I want to buy a pair of Lenovo AR concept glasses, please."
Right. Yep.
The guys behind the counter give you a look like, huh? They still don't know what Microsoft HoloLens is.
Seems.
They're mail order only, I suspect. I quite like the look of them, although I like you say the mask, the mask, I don't know, it looks like electrical wire, wrapper tape
Mm-hmm.
rather than
Yep.
gaffer tape, doesn't it? But I like the curvy look of the
Yeah, very
glasses.
modern. Yep.
I don't. I suspect if I tried them on, I wouldn't like them at all because that shape around the nose, I've got a peculiar nose, you know, and I find glasses of any sort really uncomfortable. And I have exactly one pair of shades that I bought early this year and I've been wearing all summer. They've got mirror lenses on the outside and they wrap around the side a bit, but they have this amazing rest where the glasses rest on your nose. And it's the first glasses of any sort, reading sunglasses, whatever, I've ever worn that actually feels comfortable.
Hmm.
And more to the point, is non-slip. In other words, they don't sneak down to the end of my
Oh,
nose
that's good
gradually.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I may like the look of some of these things, but I mean, talking from experience, a lot of people like me have great difficulty wearing a lot of style sunglasses, if they don't work on the nose. And this also applied to my Oculus Go, and let alone my plastic cardboard kit. One of the things that made painful to wear for more than a few minutes. I could probably, worn them heavy though they were for maybe 20 minutes. But the thing that was really irritating me, cutting it down to 2 minutes was the rubbing on my nose.
Hmm.
And the fact that there was light leakage around the nose too. So I could never get the external leakage of light around my nose fully blocked out.
Hmm.
It's almost I think the manufacturers of these things, be it glasses, headsets, or whatever, should really consider memory foam around the nose because that memory foam stuff actually you wear it a few times and it molds to your own contours, and that would probably be the solution for people with strange
I
noses
kind of
like me.
suspect that they're leaving that to aftermarket. I get the
Yeah,
impression that sometimes sometimes developers, manufacturers want to have a good aftermarket of products. So
yeah.
they leave that to go. But there are I know for the Quest there are some aftermarket foam things you can put in. The Quest is also uncomfortable on my nose.
Yeah, and I guess it's also down to the fabrics and
Right,
materials
right.
they're made of and stuff like that,
Yeah.
really, too, isn't it? Okay, I'm just going to do a little thing. I've loaded another version of Discord into my other browser here. I can't see it in here either. I'm looking for a photo. I lost the photo off topic, maybe. No. Um, I could have sworn I put it somewhere. Okay, I know it's in. I know where I might be able to find it. Let me move here to. Uh, okay, talk. I'm trying to get to Metal Bones. Oh God! All the way down. Shoot! I've just gone and made it bigger. Oh, I see what I went and did. Oh dear, I'm playing around here and I've now completely messed up my Twitter list at the side of the screen.
Mm.
Let's see if I can. Yeah, thank goodness for that. Reloading it, got it back to the right size. Okay, I'm moving to Metaworld News now. Oh yeah, post from the OSCC conference a couple of days back. I think they're looking for. Well, I think the entry thing is more or less over now, but they're still looking for art contributions for the Open Simulator Community Conference, which will be happening on the 14th and 15th of December. And multiple submissions are welcome. Basically, if you want to get free exhibition space, for people wandering around the virtual venue, then they're interested in anything you may care to send them. Um, Oh, this is another copy of the same thing. What's it? Dark Forest region. Oh, right. Okay, this is a blog called Trilo.org, TRILO.org. Um, he is one of the people that creates a lot of stuff over in Science Space, Black Opal designs and stuff. He's got a dark forest region. Can't really show it here, but if you follow the link, Metaworld News' Twitter. Uh, High Brigade. Oh yeah, the fate. Hang on. I think this was already happened. I didn't make it. Yeah, Tuesday, November 12th. Uh, we missed this. Juliet, Surreal Dreaming, and Art Blue folks did their um, art tour.
Mm.
Where are we? Open source developer discussion in high fidelity. Oops. Right, this is at YouTube. You'll find the link via my thing. It's the account is high fidelity, two words, high fidelity at YouTube. This was literally 1 week ago today. One of their longer meetings with the staff and Philip and everybody there talking. You know, it's basically an open source developer discussion. And I don't want to give anything away. I did briefly have a talk with Ilan at sorry, at Kitely, the Open Sim thing, and don't know whether he'll be able to make it to that conference to talk about it, but he apparently is going to be using the open source version of High Fidelity to do a sort of like Kitely is on OpenSim, but it will be Kitely on High Fidelity, but
Oh.
it won't be a high fidelity address, right? It will be Kitely's own grid,
Mm-hmm.
but it uses the open source components of high fidelity.
Interesting.
Yeah, so interesting. Except Indus is still it's still a new platform away from OpenSim, but by a major OpenSim developer. But as I say, Details of Sparse there, he basically hinted that that was something that was in the works that might be able to talk about. Right. And the next one down is something called Metaworld News, 10th of November, in bed.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we know what that was, don't we? That's
Mm-hmm.
last week's
I've heard of
hullabaloo.
it.
Yeah, we've all heard of it somewhere. Right, I have to keep, let's see, followers at Melbourne. Let's see if I can. Uh, no, it's not there. Uh, huh, maybe it's at home. Really, this is another way of creeping back to all the crumbs. Trouble with trying to backtrack on Twitter is I get so many feeds coming in. You know, half a mile under my screen is only an hour ago. you know, getting down to something that would have been posted yesterday. I'll have to leave it. I did deliberately tag the photo, but I don't think I've got any easy way of actually displaying the photo.
Hmm.
Um, it was basically a mock-up of a headset, which was very small form factor. It was a mock-up, but Philip Rosedale was trying it on, and you could just see how small it was. It didn't actually have any way of attaching to the head at the moment. It was just you literally held it up like a pair of. Do you remember in the days when people had spectacles on a stick? You
Mm-hmm.
know, and they held them up to their eyes. They didn't have the things to put behind your ear to keep them in place. Well, it was a bit like that, except it was a VR headset, but it looked very light and I won't say comfortable because you didn't have a clue as to how it would eventually attach. But it certainly, it certainly had the size going for it. Anyway, I'm flipping down here, but way, uh, I think I'm way out of luck, unfortunately. Okay, let me just check. Um, yeah, that was YouTube again. Let's close these ones. So just getting all our stuff out of the way again. And I need I need to go back to I hate doing this stuff live. It's terrible. Right. Plenty going on with Avatar Joy, which is Joyce Rhiannon, of course, posting quite a lot on. Well, actually, most of it is it's advertising the OSCC conference by way of posting pictures and stuff from last year. So, right, okay, that was. Let me move back to Slack, which is where I keep all my goodies. And of course, it has to reload, doesn't it? Right. Okay, I showed you Glue. I mentioned verbally, so I won't go back to it. The Upload VR's weekly VR recap. It's just 2 or 3 minutes of stuff, and of course, their highlight this week was the chap John Carmack. Actually, regardless of his award, over here on Monday, actually leaving Oculus behind to move on to other things. I think AR a bit, but whatever. Yep, so we've got that. Oh yeah, yeah. Back to the VR awards this week on Monday. I thought I kept this one around, thinking you might like to watch this one because it's very short. This was the introductory video for the VR awards, so I shall shut up for a minute.
I just love how the technology is changing every aspect of our lives, from how we socialize to education.
The ability to take you anywhere in the world, to places you wouldn't otherwise go, see things you wouldn't otherwise see.
The power of the emotional responses that great VR can produce.
It's how I can connect with your creative insight.
Seeing their reactions and seeing how they're blown away by what it can do.
It gives businesses the ability to unleash innovation and disrupt conventional business models.
It makes us understand each other a little bit better.
I can actually take my audience through the window. They walk through the frame and into that other world.
It's the sense of unlimited potential and the experimental stage that the industry is in at the moment.
It's going to change the world. The way that we consume media and make enterprise more efficient and more productive.
With VR, they can be wherever they want.
We are giving people superpowers, creating this new future of computing for all of us.
Is how XR content is maturing. How it's moving from being a gimmick and a novelty into something more meaningful.
Well, there you go. Always nice to show. Oh, I seems since I've been logged out
Yeah, you've
of.
disappeared from the world.
Yeah, you and right, but at least you saw that. At least you saw that,
Saw the video. Yep.
and yes. and, oh dear. Well, I guess we need. Oh, we haven't got anything up really. I'll just have to stick on that frame. Um, we're about done, to be honest. So I'm going to try and log in, but I've got a feeling I might not make it back in time to even sign out. Yes, it seems like Firestorm, my browser choice, has been doing this was doing this all
Oh,
day
okay.
before we started. So yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, whether it's affecting whether it's some glitch in OpenSim, which is playing with the hypergrid connectivity. Anyway, I'm logging back in. As I say, I don't know how I'll get there. At least you can film yourself still,
I
I
can film
believe.
the set, our lovely
So
desks and backdrop.
you can show a picture of yourself alongside our lovely globe logo at the back there.
Hmm.
Your thoughts then, James, on anything we've had up? I guess.
Oh gosh, I don't think I have anything original to say today.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, we can't have everything, can we?
No,
Um,
no.
Let me see. Okay, we'll just be. I think we'll just. I probably won't even bother to get back there. I've got. Let me see. My day, Thursday, 14th of November. Yeah, so that's this week too. Another YouTube here. There haven't been so many uh, things to this recently, but this is. Oh Lord.
Endgame.
Uh, yeah, this is Endgame.
That looks
Um,
like Doctor Who on the right
It does. It's an avatar of one of the
of Matt
Doctor Who
Smith.
actors.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah. This is Endgame. So if you want to find it on YouTube, the producer is literally called Endgame. They actually have a Discord server and they talk about a load of things. This actually has chat replay on, even though I can't see anything, and that's obscuring. Oh, hide
So look at
chat.
those legs, Mal. Is it better to
Yeah,
have them behaving that way or to not have them at all?
I don't know. I really don't. So I
Yeah.
I actually believe I have that avatar somewhere, not on this platform, but in OpenSim.
Yeah, this looks like hi-fi.
I
Oh, you think it's in OpenSim? You wouldn't
No,
get
this
hand.
isn't. No, this isn't. But
Yeah.
somebody gave me a Matt
Oh,
Smith
a Matt Smith
avatar in
avatar. Okay.
OpenSim, and it
Mhm.
doesn't actually look that dissimilar to that. Although in OpenSim, my avatar would not be doing that kind of leg thing. I'm not quite sure what this is. It's not VR chat because they are full body avatars.
Yeah.
I'd have to go to Endgame's Discord server, which I don't want to do now. We'll be here all day to check what the engine underneath this is. But this particular right, this is an hour long. And the title of this episode was The History and the State of and the Future of MMOs. Now, MMOs tends to refer to games, but I think you can take that fairly liberally in the sense that this is a virtuality talk show. Um, and, the crossover between games and virtual worlds it can get quite vague. And they certainly take themselves very seriously, despite their appearances. And yes, you can probably hear them blabbering away there. I could
Mhm.
bet it's probably interfering with me. Um, so I'm not going to play that, of course, because it's an hour long. But you can see it's fairly static photography for videography for the camera. But they're up there talking about stuff for an hour, so it's a good way of doing it. So thought I'd show you that one.
Yeah.
And yep, the other one is Upload VR's thing. Yep, so I think that is it for today. So right, I seem to be back in Canada, whether I can get as far as where James is. Let me have a look, see if he's showing up online yet. No, he's not. There's something very weird with Hypergrid at the moment. In other words, you log in, and even though you know damn well your friends are online, they're not showing up. So there's no way I can jump to them, and there's no way James can send me a teleport either because he doesn't really know where I am. So let's just pretend that I am Doctor Who and that James is the other chap just off cam. We have finished. We have finished, folks. So I'm not even going to try and get back because it's just what you call wasting time. Um, we will be back, of course, same time, same place, or well, similar sort of place anyway next week. And just a reminder that we are getting closer and closer to the OpenSync Community Convention, which is 14th and 15th of December. And they're still looking for volunteers, and you can still get there and sign up to go. It costs you absolutely nothing. You can register with the OSCC grid, or indeed you can go in via the hypergrid. It's been configured so hypergrid visitors land in one place and local registrants land in another. But when you get there, it's all just a matter of logistics. There's no real benefit to be gained by registering as a grid user if you've got a hypergrid account already. So it'd be just 2 days of panels, keynotes, and a bit of fun and games to theatre, music, whatever. Um, full agenda yet to come, but do bear in mind it's there. And if you want to read more about it, you can go to conference.opensimulator. Dot um, oh, is it org or com? I can't remember.
It's org,
It is org.
I
Oh, good job
believe.
you told me. I was about to say com. Okay. So conference.opensimulator.org. Open Simulator is all one
Yep.
word, of course, in this instance. So okay, well, I'm going to say you can't say it's no use saying goodbye from me because you can't see me. So I'm just going to say it's goodbye from him.
And it's goodbye from him wherever he is.
Yeah. Yes, the two of us. It's goodbye from one in the studio and one in limbo. Yes, I'm on a sort of jetty by a very strange yacht. in the Great Canadian
On
Grid.
Great Canadian? Okay.
Unable to be any further in my journey. So we'll be back next week. Have a good one. Until then, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.